Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pence less from the kickoff to the final whistle blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll raise the road, from sideline jokes to post-match tales. All big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our steins. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Oh, wasted world of sports, here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer.
Wasted world of sports, hey?
Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Tedesco's butt crack.
Ahoy!
He's nearly taken security's head off.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.
Ahoy, footy fans. Welcome along to the end of Magic Round. It's kind of sad, really, because we've reached the end. What are we going to do for the rest of the night? Well, I know what I'll be doing. I'll be going to sleep because I've got to get up bright and early, 6 a.m. for the Miami Grand Prix, covering all the action here on the Wasted World of Sports. But, of course, this is it. My perfect round hinges on this game. I have picked every single Magic Round game correct so far. Bring it on. I just need the Melbourne Storm now to defeat the Raiders. And then we are done. A perfect round in the tipping. My charge back towards top spot is in full effect. Jace, ahoy, mate. Wayne Stretch, ahoy. Just another human, ahoy, mate. Bolo Dangles, you've got the same multi. It's a hell of a multi, isn't it? I love it. Melbourne Storm are going to put on a lot of points here in this one. Pappenhausen. It's the weekend of doubles, right? So maybe Pappenhausen's going to score 3. But anyways, I've spread it out a little bit across the Melbourne Storm team. Sebastian Chris for the Raiders. The Raiders will get at least 1. DJ Shack says Raiders by 25 sounds a bit ambitious. Wayne, absolutely it does. The Raiders winning sounds a bit ambitious, if you ask me. This will probably offend every Canberra Raiders supporter out there, but this is my honest opinion. They've had a really soft draw so far. It's about to get a lot harder starting tonight for the Canberra Raiders. They're about to be found out, and their descent, their drop down the table begins here and now. Zeem Khan says Nathan Cleary try was insane. Broncos got deja vu. It was incredible. There's already been videos go up on social media of those clips, those tries, side by side, one above the other. The similarities were crazy. Dangerous Dan, ahoy mates. So far you're 6-1 in the tipping, but you need the Storm to win. I am sitting on a perfect round, so I'm actually a little bit nervous about this. I've been talking up the Storm like they're going to do a demolition job, but I have had teams ruin my perfect round multiple times. So just quietly, I am a little bit nervous. How did my last multi go? Not good, the last one. But the first game, we hit 3 out of the 4 legs. I got my cash back. That cash back allowed me to throw down on this one. Pappenhausen, Sebastian Chris, Xavier Coates, and Ellie Kurtoa. 4 legs. Bring it on. I've got a feeling about this one. This is the one. Jay says, if the Storm lose, you're definitely bad luck for me. Just another human says, good luck for a perfect round. I reckon you got this one. I reckon too. I just can't see anywhere that the Raiders have any form of advantage. The Melbourne Storm are just so strong. As I've said, they're going to win the premiership this season. Melbourne Storm, I called it. Since the end of the grand final last year, Melbourne Storm will be back bigger and stronger next season, and they will win in 2025. And they are looking like the team to beat at the moment, in my opinion. SS Storm fan says, up the Storm. The final game of Magic Round about to get underway. Can you believe it? It's all over. Magic Round drawing to a close. We've seen some great games. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. And off we go. The Melbourne Storm with the kickoff. And it's straight down to Big Red, Corey Horsburgh for the first hit up. And it's a hell of a good charge. And he's lost the ball, Big Red. What a start for the Melbourne Storm. Big Red comes up with the spilt ball on his own 20-meter line. Big Red Corey Horsburgh has gone goofed. And here is a great opportunity for the Melbourne Storm straight up to get themselves on the board. Scrum down 20 meters out midfield. What a start it would be. Mark O'Brien, ahoy, mate. They go right. Here's Falongo. Bumps off one. Still 20 meters out here, the Storm. Lined up to the left. They are. Hughes with the inside ball, though, for Utikamanu. 15 away from a dream start, not just for the Melbourne Storm, but for my perfect round. Here is now to Munster. Pappenhausen's up in the line. Feeds it on for Anderson, who's held up and driven back. Still 15 out. Side-to-side stuff here. Trent Liero will just take tackle 4. Only a couple left. There is Josh King straight up the middle, the settler for play 5. Where's Jerome Hughes? There he is out on the right. Hughes puts the grubber kick in behind the line. It sits up for Katoa. The offload for Faulongo, who dummies. And he is half a meter short. Sua Faulongo. Ricky Stewart applauds from the sideline that defensive effort. But some early warning signs here for the Canberra Raiders. They are pinned down inside their own 10 meters line. Been a great start for the Storm, and look at this driving defense, forcing the Raiders backwards, but they recover well and bring it outside the 10 now, and they've lost the ball again. No, it's a penalty. And tensions have already boiled over. A lot of push and shove. The two teams get together in a group, and a little bit of a war breaking out there in midfield. Well, there's a lot of passion involved in this game, nice and early. I'm not entirely sure what that penalty was for. High contact, that's what it was for. Thank you. Thank you, television, for letting me know that. And a nice little piggyback here for the Canberra Raiders. Raiders find touch on the 40-metre line, their own side of halfway. The tap and go. Raiders have survived that early scare. And it's Timoko who plays it. Up over halfway they go. Nicholson. He's been a hell of a find, hasn't he? Matty Nicholson. Horsburgh holds on to the ball this time. Walshy edits, says Corey equals the hottest man alive. There you go. Corey Horsburgh has got a big fan. Slow play the ball here for the Raiders. Tarpany onto Fogarty in midfield. Now Hudson Young. Fifth and last as they're just heading a little sideways here, the Raiders. Staying on the short side. Strange finds some space. Ethan Strange puts the step on, and that'll be a handover. 10 metres out. Enterprising play, though. Melbourne Storm back in possession. There's Nick Meaney. He's got his full headgear and chin protector. Everything's going on. Kiri says, go Canberra. Osh Pumaroa says, go Storms, bring it home. And it is the Storm with Xavier Coates now. A strong carry up to the 40. Couple of tackles left. Here's Munster showing the ball inside. Goes out for Hughes. Hughes dummies. Almost goes through a gap. Thag 01 says up the green machine as Munster puts this one high. The kick chase is on, but it's not a very good one. Easy take for Tamale. And the Raiders have the ball back. Craig Bellamy looks very impressed up there in the coach's box. About as impressed as you would expect him to look. The Raiders, they've survived the early pressure that Melbourne put on. And they've got themselves back into the early contest as the teams now start to go set for set. Craig Bellamy intensely taking notes up there. Can only imagine what's going through his head. Fifth and last, Fogarty with the kick. Straight down the middle, and it's taken on the full of the back. Pappenhausen will wind up. Hands it off for Coates, and Coates now running across field, looking for an option to straighten. Well defended there by the Raiders. Hughes down the short side. Falongo now goes through. Sua Falongo up over halfway. Goes through. He's in open space. One to beat. The in and away. He's 5 out. Falongo slides towards the line, but it's a try-saving effort. A metre out here, the Storm. Numbers out the wazoo to the left. Munster goes for the kick pass. And a dead set certain try here for the Storm incoming. Grant Anderson. The kick pass from Cameron Munster. Perfectly on point. But that try is all down to Sua Falongo. Making the break from the halfway line. Gave the Storm the front foot ball. Cameron Munster with the heads-up play. The kick pass was the option. They had to get the ball out left quick. And Munster pulled it off to perfection. Executed perfectly. Sua Falongo, what a break. He beat about 4 defenders. a try-saving tackle by KO Weeks at the back, but they had them absolutely skinned at that point. Grant Anderson with the first try. Wouldn't you know? Wouldn't you bloody know? He's not in my multi. Always the way. Notice this says, whatever happened to Nick Kotrick? I'm pretty sure that he went to Super League. Notice this. We've done a couple of Super League. We've done a couple of Super League games. Yeah, he went to the Catalans Dragons. There you go. Thank you, SS Storm fan. Ryan Pappenhausen with the goal-kicking duties tonight from the sideline. Oh, that's a shocker. Good Lord, that's the worst kick I've ever seen Pappenhausen put in his life. 4 points to nil. The Storm, though, they're off to a hell of a start. Snafu, ahoy, mate. Kellyan, a 124 over there on the Twitch. No, I don't have the broadcasting rights from the NRL. So I'm simply providing a commentary service. Dylan Bransby says, need Papa and Coates for tries. Same here. Jeffrey Cook says, Anderson was 35-1 for first try. Well, I hope a few people, buddy, jumped on that. That'd be a hell of a payout. Slam dunk. Ahoy, mate. It's Defunk on a new account. Welcome back then, Defunk. Kane Higgins. Ahoy, mate. Storm up 4 points to nil. Loose pass here. Sits up nicely, though. Quick hands. And Pappenhausen's up in the line. 30 metres out from their own line. Munster goes from dummy half. Space down the short side. Puts the fend on. But Nicholson holds on. Brings him to ground. 40 out from the Raiders line. Fifth and last. Hughes puts it high. They chase through. Put pressure on. But it's taken by Weeks. And a penalty here to the Melbourne Storm. Grant Anderson was the first try scorer, Australia 1995. And now we've got a penalty to the Storm. Coates took a little bit of a dive there, let's be honest. But a penalty nonetheless. Well, I mean, look, Coates took a little bit of a dive, but at the same time, the Raiders purposely moved across in front of his line, gave him the opportunity to take the dive. And so it was a little bit of a no-brainer of a penalty. A slam dunk of a penalty, may I say. Defunk. They're going to have a shot at 2 here, the Melbourne Storm. Pappenhausen, after that last effort that he put in from the sideline. I don't know how confident I feel about taking the 2. But we'll see if he can get it better this time. He's a little bit closer to the posts on this occasion. But this game so far, it's been all Melbourne Storm. Lazar says, Storm win first half, Raiders win second. It has been a bit of a staple of both teams, hasn't it? Storm have been going very well in the first half of games, not so much in the second half. Raiders, conversely, not so well in the first half, but do very well in second halves. It could indeed be a game of 2 halves. 20 metres out, about 15 to the left of the post. Pappenhausen, that's better. It's right down the middle, and Melbourne leads 6 points to 0. There we go. Pappenhausen has made up for that missed conversion and got Melbourne back on track here. They have started this game so well. Wasted World of Sports, of course, live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Twitch, live on Facebook, and we've got coming up 6 o'clock in the morning, Queensland time, the Miami Formula One Grand Prix. I'm looking forward to covering that one. The Formula One streams have been a new addition in 2025, and they've been fun. So I'm looking forward to cheering our Aussie boy, Oscar Piastri. And hopefully he can jump up a couple of places, starting third on the grid, and put some pressure on and get the win. The greatest says, I'm glad I don't support the Raiders anymore. Oh, I think you probably still do. As Melbourne keep this ball alive. Bringing it outside the 40 now on the fifth and last. Thag01 is asking who's my favorite tennis player. Of the current players or of all time? Of the current players, I'm a big fan of Carlos Alcaraz. Of all time, who can go past Roger Federer? Raiders back in possession now after the Storm complete that set. Bringing it outside their own 30 and just a little bit flat-footed here, the Raiders. The Storm have done very well to just quietly smash them out of the game for the time being. Fifth and last, 40 out. Fogarty puts a big kick up. Not a lot of distance on it. And it's an easy take there for Grant Anderson. Anderson, of course, the first try scorer. 35-1, apparently he was playing. Paying, I should say, not playing. He's obviously playing. Pappenhausen at first receiver. Dummies, puts the step on and almost gets through a gap. Chuckus says who's going to be the double in this game. I reckon Pappenhausen. I reckon Pappy gets 3. And here he goes up the middle, Pappenhausen. Oh, he's looking threatening every time he touches the ball. 30 out from the line. Hughes now, quick hands to Munster. Munster will just surrender in the tackle. Fifth and last. 30 meters out. Hughes with the kick. Puts it high. It's a little deep. It is contestable, though. Here come the Storm. Putting pressure on. Sean Blaw leads the chase. But it is taken by KO Weeks. The offload is kept alive. Raiders outside their own 20 now. They're getting destroyed at the moment. The Raiders just out-muscled, out-enthused in every facet of the game at the moment. We know that they're a second-half team, though, the Raiders. Smithies will play it just short of halfway, the Raiders. Strange takes the line on. Fifth and last on halfway. Fogarty puts the kick up. It's a high ball. Not contestable, though. Coates is under it. And Coates just runs it back into contact. 20 meters out from their own line here. Melbourne, 6-0 they lead. 15 minutes gone. The final game of Magic Round. I'm sitting on a perfect round in the tipping. I need the Melbourne Storm to win. I don't even care about the multi in this game. I just need them to win. Numbers to the right. Here's Meaney with the pass to Faulongo. Faulongo's in open space. He's got Hughes in support on the inside. Puts the kick in field for Pappenhausen. And Pappenhausen catches it on the full. Dives over under the post. Points out to Faulongo to say, thank you, mate. That's all you. And Sua Faulongo is having a bloody ball-busting night. Sua Faulongo has been directly responsible for both of Melbourne's tries. And I told you it would be a massacre. What a start for the Melbourne Storm. Sua Faulongo There is no way that he's kept out of the team, surely. I mean, Will Warbrick is good and all, but how can you possibly keep Falongo out of the team after this opening 16 minutes? $10 to 0, the kick to come. Will Warbrick is really going to struggle to get back into this lineup. The try is confirmed. Pappenhausen has scored. It's a tick off the multi. 1 down, 3 to go. Melbourne Storm 10-0, kick from right in front. Fantastic play for the Melbourne Storm. $23 minutes left to play in the first half. 12 points to 0. Melbourne. Suafalongo, he's already got one hand on the man of the match trophy. Mel, thank you very much for the rose. Cheers. Very much appreciate that. Oh, Melbourne Storm, they're on a roll. I said it at the end of last season. Melbourne lost the grand final to the Panthers. And I said on that stream, Melbourne will be back next year and they will be the team to beat. And boy, are they setting the early standard. That game against the Dolphins aside, where I don't know what happened. Pappenhausen, the inside ball. Sean Bloor up over halfway. And people told me I was crazy. You're insane, Dan. Lay off the pipe, Dan. Melbourne Storm setting the standard early on in season 2025. KO weeks. Long way to go in this one, though. We won't be counting any chickens just yet. But it's been a great start for the Melbourne Storm. Over 60% possession in favour of Melbourne. Beware the Raiders' speed, though. Xavier Savage, KO Weeks, Ethan Strange, any sort of half a gap. And these blokes will go straight through. That is one thing that they certainly have in their favour. It's just pure pace. Fifth and last, now the kick from the Raiders. In behind the line, Coates up there, Gazali. Xavier Coates with two hands above his head. AFL style takes that mark. And they're back in possession. Eli Katoa, I've got him once again in my try scorer multi. He's let me down a few times. I've got a feeling about tonight, though. And we've got to feel good about Pappenhausen. Pappenhausen, 3 tries, I reckon. Hat trick tonight. A kick on play 4 here from Hughes inside the 40. Oh, he hasn't pulled off a 40-20, has he? Oh, he has. Xavier Coates chasing through, but the ball is over the sideline. Jerome Hughes with the 40-20. KO Weeks did his best to try and keep it in field. Jerome Hughes. Oh, if he is not the form halfback of the competition so far, then I just don't know. Here come the Storm again now. 15 out for Tukamanu in midfield. Carries it inside the 10. Options left and right. Garlic with the short ball. 6 again. Back to Garlic. It goes on the wraparound. And penalty. Oh, there's a more push and shove. going on in midfield. The teams, again, a lot of shirt grabbing. Shirt grab Jones in front of the post there. And what is the call here? A quarter of the way through this contest. $12 points to 0. And just a little bit of a warning there from the referee. He's like, all right, everyone, just calm down. Brick Cheese says, love Steph, but he likes to push a lot. And as DJ Shaq has pointed out in the YouTube chat room, there's shirt grabbing and there's pushing and shoving because you can't just whack a bloke anymore. We got to bring back the biff. Well, the Raiders have been given the penalty here. And tell me that that's not a square up to make sure that this game doesn't blow out. Tell me that was not a game management decision. Genitalia, ahoy, mate. Welcome back. Raiders up to halfway. They've been given a game management penalty. Conspiracy Theory Jones. It was absolutely, I think DJ Shaq, absolutely a game management decision. There was a little bit of push and shove. There was no need for a penalty there. The warning was sufficient. Hudson Young, 20 out from the line. Tries to Milky Magoo a penalty there, Hudson. Fifth and last. Around the back is Timoko, who grubbers in behind the line. It's too heavy. 7 tackle set. Seven tackle set incoming. Genitalia says, did you hear the Channel 9 commentary spoke about the Panthers winning from 8th? You reckon that that's confirmation, James? It could be confirmation about your little conspiracy theory. It's already in the works. It's been premeditated. I told you, Conspiracy Theory Jones, out the wazoo. We love it. Storm, 40 meters out from the line, back in possession. And Alec McDonald, he doesn't have a farm, but he had a strong carry up the middle of the field on this occasion. Storm with the kick, taken by Xavier Savage. And we've got a whistle. Somebody's down in back. Oh, it's tensions boiling over again, is it? There's some more push and shove in back play. Oh, Munster set up the FU. Cameron Munster with the FU on Tom Starling. Remember when I said Penrith and Storm 13 plus? I do. Absolutely do. Penalty here to the Melbourne Storm. And they're going to step up and have a shot at 2 here. Pappenhausen. AB edits. Ahoy, mate. You did the Tedesco edit. Nice. AB edits popped into the chat room earlier on one of the streams and asked for a player's name and they would do an edit, and we came up with James Tedesco. Scoreboard pressure, ooh daddy. God, we've got some names in the chat room, don't we? Genitalia, ooh daddy. I love it. Scoreboard pressure, though, would be the answer to that, ooh daddy. They keep taking the 2. Well, they took the original 2 because Pappenhausen had missed a conversion. So that was just a makeup for the missed conversion. And here, it's just game management. 12 points to 0 up, makes it 14 points to 0 now. Takes it beyond 2 converted tries. Scoreboard pressure. It's a mental game as much as it is a physical one. And that just makes the Raiders think, wow, we've got to score now more than 2 converted tries to get back into this. I am a huge, huge advocate, as we know, rugby league, rugby union, it doesn't matter. I'm a huge advocate, and my coaching style would 100% be take the points when they're on offer and keep that scoreboard ticking over. Back underway. 15 minutes to play in the first half. Melbourne up 14 points to 0. And I've got to say, looking very comfortable at the moment. They've got this well in control. But, of course, it's a game of 2 halves, right? And we've seen in previous weeks, the Canberra Raiders, they play better in the second half. And Melbourne have a tendency to drop off in the second half. So there's still plenty to play for in this one. It's only 14 points. Garlic scoots out a dummy half up to halfway. Grady says that this is a fiery game of footy. As Jerome Hughes puts this kick up, it's too deep to be contestable. And an easy take at the back there for the Raiders, who carry back through Tamale just outside their own 20. No, Michelle is actually on a Melbourne Storm ban. I'm not comfortable with Michelle doing Melbourne Storm games because I'm very concerned. I've spent enough time with Michelle in person to know how she feels about Melbourne Storm and the players, and I'm very concerned about what she might say. So she's been banned from Melbourne Storm games. Raiders get to the end of set, put the kick down as far as Coates. Coates takes it 10 meters out from his own line. Brings it back. Slam dunk. Your mate had a baby last week and named her Geneva. Very beautiful little girl she is. Oh, that's very nice. Cheers to your mate, to fatherhood. I mean, I wouldn't know. But to that, Jerome Hughes up over halfway. 5th and last. Hughes is out of the kicking duties. Here's Pappenhausen. Puts the grubber in, looking for Falongo, but swooping onto it is Tamale. Tamale can't get the arms free to offload. That would have been interesting. Tamale in open space would have been very interesting. And this is great field position now for Canberra. Gina, ahoy there. And a penalty now to the Raiders on halfway. This will give them a nice piggyback upfield and definitely, hands down, their best field position of the game so far. Can they hit back? As we wait for this penalty kick into touch, just an example of why Michelle's banned from Melbourne Storm games is Cameron Munster was having a 10 out of 10 man of the match performance this one game that Michelle was on for. And I said, Cameron Munster is having a blinder of a game. No! No, he's not. He sucks. Oh, good Lord. I don't think you should do Melbourne games anymore. Through the hands now. Strange. Onto Tamale. Tamale fights his way over the line and grounds it in the corner. And the Raiders have hit back. A piggyback upfield off the penalty. and they did not require a second invitation. Savelio Tamale in the corner. $14 points to 4. Kick to come. Sua Falongo did his best. Oh, hang on. Has he grounded it? I think he has. I reckon this is a clean grounding. Try confirmed. 14 points to 4. Kick to come from out wide. Australia 1995, you just need Xavier Coates and Sebastian Chris. Joseph says, go Raiders. Scott Morrison says, whatever happens, Canberra will come back second half. I'm assuming that that's not that Scott Morrison, by the way. Just in case anybody was wondering. Jamal Fogarty from the sideline. The favoured side for a right foot kicker. Moves in, strikes it well. It's hooking back. It's on target. It's down the middle. It's 14 points to 6 is what it is. 10 minutes to go until the break. Tavita Moses says, go Raiders. $14 points to 6. 10 to go until halftime. The Raiders, quite honestly, this was their first real opportunity down the Melbourne Storm's end, and they took full advantage. That's a little bit of a warning sign for the Melbourne Storm. They've definitely got to tighten things up. One trip down inside the red zone, one try for the Raiders. Corey Horsburgh up the middle. Notice this, says Fogarty is a good half in today's game. He'll win a premiership with Manly. And a penalty now to the Raiders. Well, here they come. Ill discipline starting to creep into the Melbourne Storm game. And a piggyback upfield for the Raiders. Once again, you just don't want to invite teams back into the contest. And Papali'i is on the field, taking the first hit up. Do you mind if I sort that out at halftime, Slam Dunk? Just takes a little bit of concentration. As another penalty now to the Raiders. Ill discipline. Really badly creeping in now to Melbourne's game. And here they come, the Raiders, looking to close up the game. Oh, Craig Bellamy's got his hand in his head. He can't watch. Heads? He's only got one, I'm pretty sure. Hand in the head. He can't watch. 10 meters out from the line. Fogarty heads across field. Links up with Strange. They jam in on him. Numbers to the left. If the Raiders can get it out there, they can't. Wrapped up by the Storm. And now they number up. Hudson Young heading back into midfield. 8 minutes to go until the halftime break. Young still going. 5 from the line. Fifth and last, Fogarty. They're going to run it here. Weeks with the grubber kick in behind the line. It deflects off Anderson. Anderson grounds it in the end goal. Goal line dropout. It's all Raiders at the moment. They're coming back into this game. Goal line restart here for the Storm. Kick it deep, I say. Smash the ever-living bollocks off it. They go short. Well, who knows? Who cares what I think, I suppose. Oh, it's been done perfectly. It's there for Xavier Savage, though. The loose ball. Raiders in possession now. Red hot on the attack. 10 metres out from the Storm line. Papali'i just to the right of the posts. Starling brings it right for Weeks. On to Timoko. Timoko fights his way over the line and scores. Timoko, too much power. 14 points to 10, the kick to come. They have utilized all this momentum that they've built up to absolute perfection here, the Raiders. And they are back in this game in a huge way. $14 points to 10, the kick to come. And they've had a lot of piggyback penalties upfield. Taken full advantage of them, though, nonetheless. By hook or by crook, they've got themselves down that end of the field. And too strong, Matt Timoko. Grant Anderson it was, found out defensively. Fogarty with the conversion attempt. Fogarty puts this one down the middle. It's 14 points to 12. It's game well and truly on here. And as we've seen, the Raiders are a second half team. The Melbourne Storm haven't necessarily played to their best in the second half. Mind you, the game's a little bit closer on this occasion, isn't it? So, standard moderator. There we go. I think I got that sorted out now as well. Two birds, one stone. Two birds, one stone, Jones. Back underway. Melbourne with the restart. It's allowed to bounce. It sits up in the end goal for the Raiders. 2 points the difference. 5 to play until the halftime break. Papali'i. Straight up the guts. Just 2 points the difference. Just short of halfway now on play 4. Quick play the ball. Starling. Up over halfway they go. Morris By says, let's go Green Machine. Watching from PNG. Fifth and last. Ethan Strange puts the kick up. Pappenhausen takes it under no pressure at the back. Dummies, and he's been caught high there. An appeal for high contact. Falls on deaf ears. Play on, says the referee. Short side play for Anderson. Anderson's driven backwards in a two-man tackle. Oh, the momentum shift. DJ Shaq talked about it earlier. The momentum shift, you can feel it. It's in full force at the moment. Momentum all with the Raiders. Munster down the short side for Blore. Blore goes over the top of Fogarty, but he's brought down fifth and last, 30 out from the line. Munster puts it high in midfield. Contestable ball. Lost by the Raiders, and that's a result for the Storm. Maybe, or maybe not. He's called it a knock-on against Melbourne. Well, that's got to be a captain's challenge, surely. Yes, they are. Captain's challenge. That seemed pretty blatantly knocked on by the Raiders, and that is just horrible Horrible refereeing. Maybe. We'll find out. It didn't seem like there were any Melbourne players around at all. And he's called it a knock-on against Melbourne. Well, let's have a look. Did he get it right, the referee? Oh, he did get it right. Eli Katoa has indeed touched this. Knocked it on into the face of the Raiders player. William Hunt, ahoy, mate. Challenge unsuccessful. And the Raiders will have the ball. 3.5 to go until the halftime break. Challenge unsuccessful. Raiders ball. Mike Darvo went to school with the Raiders winger Cervello Tamale, of course. That's pretty cool. Dog Stevens, thank you very much for the tiny diny. Gina says, come on, Storms. Gamer Mel says, come on, Melbourne. Australia 1995 says, come on, Chris. But it is the Raiders with the ball. 3 minutes to go until the halftime break. Storm leading by 2. 30 out from their own line. The Raiders through Papali'i. Just short of halfway now. Fogarty, through the hands they go. Some space opens up. Stepping back in field, but Munster holds on. Does just enough to bring Weeks to ground. Down the short side, Starling links up with Nicholson. He's got support from Starling on the wraparound. 5th and last. 30 metres out from the line now. Raiders for Fogarty to kick. Puts it high down the middle of the field. It's very high. Contestable. Faulongo spills it, and it sets up for the number 15 there, Zach Hosking, to score the try that puts the Raiders ahead. It's gone up as no try. It's gone up as no try. They're looking at the contest. Former Penrith Panther premiership winner Zach Hosking may have just got the go-ahead try here. We'll have a look. And, they've just taken Faulongo out. This is penalty every day of the week. Slam dunk penalty here to the Melbourne Storm. No try. Faulongo's been taken out in the air. And that should be 10 in the bin for Tamale, I'm sorry. That is a slam dunk penalty to the Melbourne Storm. And Tamale should be spending 10 in the bin for that. You can't play the player in the air. And very lucky Tamale to still be on the field. Very lucky. $14 points to 12 it remains. Tamale very, very lucky to still be on the field after that one. And the Storm have come up with a mistake here on play 1. The Raiders have forced the error. 2 minutes to go until the break. It's Nick Meaney with the loose carry. They've got no challenges remaining. Raiders still have an opportunity here to steal the lead before the halftime break. $25 out from the line. Scrum down. Fogarty to Nicholson. Out the back to Strange. Here's Weeks up at the line. Taken. 20 out. 1 minute and a half to go in the first half. Down the short side. Starling hit hard by Munster. Was it high? No. Play on. Fogarty onto Mariota. 1 minute left. Tackle 2. Oh, that's tackle 3, sorry. Smithies Or Nicholson, sorry. 5 out. Starling fires it out to the left. Fogarty puts the grubber kick through. Looking for the post. Hits it. And it's been lost forward by Ethan Strange. Strange had the try line wide open. Fogarty nailed the post. Fogarty is... Strange is in under the sticks if he can collect this ball. That's a big let-off for Melbourne. Big let-off. Into touch it goes, and that's the halftime break. 14 points to 12. It was all Melbourne Storm for the opening 20 minutes. It was all Canberra Raiders for the other 20 minutes. A very even contest, and we go to the break. Only 2 points the difference. 14 points to 12, the Storm. A slender lead. My perfect round is in the balance. I've picked all the upsets so far this weekend. The Canberra Raiders do not need to give me any more reasons to dislike them. But they're going to give it their best, aren't they? They're going to try. Disgraceful it is. Disgraceful. All right, Waste of Water Sports. Halftime here, 14 points to 12. The Storm with the slender lead. We've seen the Raiders play very well in second halves. We've seen the Storm go not so well in the second half. Can they change it here? 14-12 at the break. Second half coming up after this on the Waste of Water Sports.
Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play. Waste the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pence less. From the kickoff to the final whistles blow, we'll take the 2 and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. all cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer. Yeah.
Ah, yes, halftime here. 14 points to 12. The Melbourne Storm holding on to a very, very slender lead. Just 2 points the difference. Can they get the job done in the second half? I hope so, because my perfect round hangs in the balance. And I need a perfect round, really. Get myself back into the Wasted Water Sports tipping contest. Got off to a terrible start this season. I don't think I got a single... well, I didn't get a single tip right in Vegas. And then the rest of round one didn't go too much better for me. But I've been slowly but surely clawing my way back into it as it's continued on throughout the course of the season. I still think the Storm win, leading by 2. Declan needs the Storm to win at 60 minutes and the whole game. Yeah, I do still think that Melbourne get this win. I think the fight back by the Raiders in that first half will probably keep, you would hope anyway, will keep Melbourne's head in the game. They have had a tendency to drop off in the second half, but in those situations, the game's been over at halftime, so the drop-off is understandable. And, of course, that inexplicable game against the Dolphins, which was a little bit of a blip on the radar. Moody, 579, ahoy, mate. $14 points to 12. 1 tick off the multi. 3 to go. As much as I want my multi, I kind of want my perfect round even more, so I'm hoping no more tries. No more tries for the Raiders, that is. Jace is asking, have I ever watched a Storm game with you, Dan, that we have won? In fairness, though, that's a pretty small sample size, though, isn't it? There hasn't exactly been that many. SS Storm fan says, come on, boys, get it done. I do have faith. I do have faith in the second half. Melbourne Storm still to win. I've seen, I can't change my tip anyway now that I've already locked it in, but I've seen nothing to suggest that I should change my tip. The Raiders have had a lot of piggyback penalties upfield. You expect all those to sort of even out throughout the course of a game. We shall see, though, shall we? We shall see. Fingers crossed. Perfect rounds, of course, very hard to come by. Have to see if we can get it done here. Credit to the Canberra Raiders, though. I really did think they would get blown away in this game. Whether you agree with my reasoning or not, my reasoning was that they've had a relatively soft draw up until this point. This was really going to be the benchmark test. What is it they said? The litmus test. This was the litmus test for the Canberra Raiders. And I really did think that they would get spanked. Doing well to hang in there at the moment. Whether or not you agree with the penalties they've been given, the little piggybacks, some of the calls that have gone their way, whether you agree with them or not, you can only play what's in front of you, and they're playing it well. Just 2 points difference at the break. And we could have a very, very blockbuster finish for Magic Round in the makings here. Wasted World of Sports, of course, Miami Grand Prix coming up bright and early in the morning, Queensland time. Should I manage to struggle up for it, that is. That is the plan. Certainly hoping that I'm up and about for it. As much as I don't like Max Verstappen being on pole, that is way too close to the front. I mean, it's the very front, so of course it's close to the front. But really hoping the McLarens can get the job done there and overtake Max nice and early. The real thing, asking how the pitch is holding up. It's definitely on its last leg, the real thing. You would not want any more games after this. There's not, of course, so that's a good thing. There's obviously not any more games. This is the last one, but yeah, it's on its last legs. It wouldn't get through another one. Not a chance. Especially in the red zone, the 10 meters on both sides of the field. The goal line to 10 meters out, both ends of the field, has been ripped to shreds, and it's very, very muddy. It would not get through another game. All right, second half. The final game of Magic Round, Storm Raiders, 14 points to 12. Perfect round is in the balance. $40 minutes left to play. Alex says, check on your mates if they go for the Broncos. All my Broncos supporting mates are probably right now in the process of trying to offload their grand final tickets that they bought after round one. Because they just got served a hell of a wake-up call. Raiders back out onto the field. 14 points to 12 at the break. Perfect round in the balance. I need the Melbourne Storm to go on with this. Very, very evenly matched game at the halftime break. 51% possession to 49. A very even contest. Slam Dunk says the crowd often forgets, has more influence in the outcome of matches. I think they've given themselves credit for the... hang on. The crowd often forgets, has more influence in the outcome of matches than they give themselves credit for in the NRL. That's why I love watching tennis as well. The crowd definitely lifts teams. 100%. I've had the argument quite a few times with people in the past, like before I was doing Wasted World of Sports, just in general. I've had arguments in the past trying to explain to people the effect of the home ground advantage. When people say, oh, it shouldn't make a difference, why would it make a difference? You just don't understand the mentality, the mindset of professional sports. It makes a world of difference. $14 points to 12 at the break. Very tight game. Second half about to get underway. Raiders with the kickoff. Referee blows his whistle. 40 minutes left of Magic Round. 40 minutes stands between me and a perfect round. I need the Melbourne Storm to win for a perfect tipping round. And it's Melbourne with first use of it. Carrying outside their own 20. Lockie, you put your first tip ever on the Storm. $5 head to head. There you go. Here's to Munster. And Pappenhausen spills it. Ryan Pappenhausen has just gone goofed. Dropped it cold. Well, that is not a great start to the second half. Game number 100. Pappenhausen drops it cold. And the Raiders, what a glorious opportunity this is for them to go ahead. A full set of 6 in the attacking zone. 30 meters out from the Storm line. Fogarty onto Smithies. 30 meters out. Mariotta takes the hit up, carries it to the 20. Play 2. In midfield, Hoskin, dummies, takes the line on. 10 meters out now on play 3. Starling breaks away right for Fogarty. Short ball. Hudson Young, or Nicholson, sorry. A meter short. Starling again now to Fogarty. Hoskin takes the line on again. 6 again. They're up inside the 10. Oh, they surely score here, the Raiders. Fogarty hands it off inside for Papali'i. Papali'i with the fend. 10 meters out from the line. Starling goes out the back for Fogarty. Inside ball for Timoko, looking for a double. It has been the weekend of doubles, of course. Timoko stands and will play it 5 out. Fogarty, short ball for Hoskin. Hoskin angling back towards the posts. Tackle 4. Short ball for Chris. Sebastian Chris can't reach out and plant it down. 5th and last, they're a meter short. Crossfield kick now from Fogarty. It's a little too short of the try line, but it's still on here for the Raiders. Weeks with the flick pass. And into touch it goes as the scrambling defense of the Storm, showing them the sideline and ushering them over. Melbourne have diffused that early raid. Xavier Coates now bringing it back for the Storm. Oh, Craig Bellamy looks furious up there in the coach's box. It hasn't been a good start to the second half. We know that the Melbourne Storm have not done well in the second halves in recent weeks. Chameleon. Up towards the halfway mark he goes. Hughes. Short pass to Katoa. 5th and last inside the 40. Dane on the short side for Hughes. Puts it high. Contestable ball. The Storm race through. Bat it back. Pappenhausen's got it. Steps away. Hands it off for Falongo, who cuts back infield. Gets the second kick in. And Timoko bats it dead. A goal line dropout incoming now for the Raiders. That's better from the Melbourne Storm. They get a result. A goal line dropout. Raiders go deep with the restart. Fogarty sends it down to the 40. Pappenhausen takes it. And he's got Karma Chameleon with him. 30 out from the line. Melbourne. Can they take the lead? I mean, well, they've already got the lead. Can they extend their lead, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. 20 out. Hughes. To Katoa, offloads, and Meany cuts back in field. Meany, half a metre short. 6 again for the Storm. That's play 1. Munster dummies, steps back in field. 10 metres out, wrapped up by a Starling. Slow play the ball here from Munster. Liero to Hughes, lined up to the right. Cut out pass for Falongo. Falongo with some fancy footwork, but the Raiders scramble across. Inside the 10 they are, though, lined up to the left. End-to-end stuff, or edge-to-edge, I should say. Flat pass from Munster to Bloor. 10 metres out on tackle 4. Crash ball now for McDonald. Half a metre short. 5th and last. Loose pass there. It sits up nicely for Hughes, though. Hughes caught with the ball. Gets away from the tackle. Offloads. Katoa onto Meany, and Meany spills it. Craig Bellamy, rightfully so, with his hands over his eyes. He can't bear to watch. The Raiders have held on. 14 points to 12 it remains. Down the short side. Hudson Young with the carry. And loses it. Does he? No, he holds on. Papali'i in midfield. Takes it over halfway. A couple of tackles left here for the Raiders. Young pops it up for Ethan Strange on the wraparound. He's caught, and we've got a penalty to the Raiders. High contact is the call. Late in the tackle count, and a piggyback upfield. Again they go. That's what's been keeping the Raiders in this game. Penalties, the ill discipline of Melbourne. High contact is the call. Mariota will play it. 35 out in midfield. On the attack. Papali'i bumps off Karma Chameleon. And we've got time off here. Someone's going for a HIA. $15 out from the line. Raiders play it. 8 gone in the second half. Fogarty. Short pass for Mariota. Stands in the tackle. They are just 5 meters out from the line. 5 meters away from taking the lead. Change of direction here from Weeks. Back to Fogarty in midfield. And he's wrapped up by Bronson Garlick. Brought to ground. Still 5 meters out. The turf is being torn to shreds here. As down the short side, KO Weeks. Half a metre out. 5th and last. Starling to Fogarty. Kicks towards the post again. Fogarty. The Storm get in each other's way. And they've come up with the error, have they? No, they've come up with the ball. Eli Katoa. What a take. Half a metre out from his own try line. And now Melbourne get a penalty. A much needed one. Papali'i just roughing him up too badly on the ground there. And a nice little piggyback upfield for the Storm. Potentially here. Yes, just with the forearm there, with the elbow. Just too much of a rough up there from Isaiah, not Isaiah Papali'i, Josh Papali'i. And the Melbourne Storm, fine touch. 30 out from their own line. Katoa. On tackle 1. Here's Nick Meaney. Meaney's lost the headgear. Maybe feeling like the headgear was a little bit of a distraction. Plays the ball. 30 out. Karma Chameleon held up and driven backwards in the tackle. Down the short side, Hughes dummies. He's met hard. Through the hands now, the arrow to Munster, Pappenhausen on to Anderson now, just shuffling it left. Fifth and last, Munster on halfway. Puts the kick high. And an easy take at the back. No pressure on KO Weeks. Heads across field. Now he straightens. 30 out from their own line. The Raiders. Catch you later, innocent anglerfish. $40 out from their own line here. Raiders. On play 3. Starling down the left edge for Hudson Young. This game is well and truly in the balance. Fifth and last. Fogarty in midfield puts it high. Stuart Faulongo's under it. Was Sebastian Chris bumped off the ball there? No, says the referee. And Faulongo's got it. 10 meters out from the line. Roughsy, says, come on, Raiders. But it is the Melbourne Storm in possession. Pappenhausen onto Coates. Coates rumbles it into the line. Brings it outside the 30 on play 4. Stuck in their own end at the moment. Fifth and last. Hughes from inside the 40. Straight down the middle of the field. Bounces up nicely for Weeks at the back. Weeks slips. And he's taken 30 meters out from his own line. Papali'i's off for a break. He's had a pretty good stint. A well-earned rest for him. Nick Wade says your friend Caitlin likes the Raiders. Oh, I'm very sorry, Caitlin. Second phase play. Here goes Savage. Savage carries inside the 40. Tackle 3. Owen Paddy's on the field. I love me some Owen Paddy. Hell of a player. Look out for those 40-20s from dummy half. Hosking. Out the back it goes for Mariota now. Keeping the ball alive. Back for Hosteen. Pops it in field to Paddy, who's just come on the field. And he drops it with the try line wide open. The lead was there for the Raiders. Odd Poppet, thank you very much for the super chat. Very much appreciate it, mate. Go the Bunnies, says Odd Poppet. Scrum down here for the Storm. 10 out from their own line. Pappenhausen from dummy half goes short side. He's been taken high there. No call from the referee. Oh, they can't win a penalty at the moment. They just can't earn a penalty, the Raiders. The Storm. High contact after high contact. And it is not getting called for them. Look for Hughes to put an early kick in here, maybe. No, they're going to run it. Pappenhausen down the left edge. Carries to halfway. Fifth and last. Hughes, they're up quickly on him. He goes through. Throws it over to Katoa. 6 again. It's been battered down by the Raiders. Meaney kicks. He didn't understand that there was 6 again, Nick Meaney. And it's there for KO Weeks at the back. And Canberra have it on their own 20. Didn't hear the call of 6 again. And Nick Meaney's put the kick in. Tamale heads across field. That is such a big mistake. They've just been given 6 again. And Meaney puts the kick in. Poor mistake, that one. 14 points to 12. It remains. This game has not been the blowout I was expecting. Not yet, anyway. It might break apart at the back end. Is up over halfway now on the 5th and last. Go the Raiders. Fogarty bobbles the ball. That gives time for the kick chase to pressure. And it goes wide for the kick in field. Bounces nicely here for the Raiders. Batted back. Beware the second phase play. This is where the Raiders have scored so many points. Tarpany offloads. It's loose on the turf. Picked up by the Raiders, and that'll be the handover. Knock on by the Storm, says the referee. Oh, the Raiders, more ass than class on that second phase broken play. They've scored so many points from it this season. These broken play phases. They are one of the best at it, the Canberra Raiders, and they've come up with a result out of nowhere. "23 minutes to go, midfield scrum, 10 metres out. They go right. It's 3-on-3 over here. Fogarty to Weeks. Weeks beats the first tackle of Coates. 5 metres out. Slow play the ball. Storm up quickly here on Fogarty to Hoskin. Hoskin been so heavily involved. The crash ball has been lost by Mariota. And that is a huge let-off. Massive let-off for the Melbourne Storm. Mariota with the mistake. Who's the referee? It's Sutton, I believe. Sutton, the great big galoot. And that was a massive, massive let-off there for the Storm. Mariota with the mistake. Hang on, I'll find that out for you officially. I'm pretty sure it's Sutton. And we know how terrible he is as Melbourne go up over halfway. Tackle 3 now, 40 metres out. The referee is Jared Sutton. Yes, and we know he's terrible. Pappenhausen goes straight through. Needs support. He's brought down 20 out from the line. Here they come now, the Storm. Down the short side. Wishart, dummies. Wishart inside the 10. And a penalty. High contact. Penalty to Melbourne. There'll be no thought of the two here. They'll keep the pressure on. They've had such little ball in the second half. They've got to keep the pressure on here. They tap and go. Josh King in front of the posts. The first half, the opening 20 minutes was all Melbourne. The second 20 minutes was all Raiders. The second half, the opening 20 has been all Raiders. Can Melbourne finish off strong here in the last 20? A metre short from the line. Set restart. Wishart fires it out now for Munster. Out the back. It goes for Anderson to take the line on. 5 metres out. Munster. Up it goes for Alec McDonald. And McDonald's tackled 5 out here on play 3. Wishart sends it right for Hughes. Katoa with the short ball for Meaney. Flick pass for Faulongo. And Sua Faulongo. Superman's over and scores out wide. Melbourne have extended their lead. Sua Faulongo. Man of the match performance. Now he gets a try to boot. 18 points to 12. The kick to come. Sua Falongo, try confirmed. $18 points to 12. Conversion to come from slightly out wide. And with 20 minutes to go in the game, an 8-point margin here would be, it'd be worth its weight in gold, wouldn't it? Worth its weight in gold. If Pappenhausen can put this one over. Pappenhausen's actually been ushered in about a meter from touch. This is such a big kick. 6 points the difference. This would give the Melbourne Storm a little bit of comfort, a little bit of a buffer zone. Pappenhausen. It's not the favoured side for a right-footed kicker. He moves in on game number 100 and he hooks it off horribly to the left. That is a dead set shocker there from Pappy. 18 points to 12 it remains. Converted try. Oh, please don't go to Golden Point. Golden Point would be a great finish to Magic Round, I'm not going to lie. But I do not want to see it go to Golden Point. We don't want it to go to Golden Point at all. The perfect round is on the line. I need Melbourne to win. Don't think I could handle it. Imagine a Golden Point loss. A Golden Point loss would just be bloody disastrous. Changers, ahoy, mate. This is by far the best option since Twitch has banned all NRL streamers. I'm enjoying your commentary more than the actual vlogs that do it. Cheers, Changers. Ollie is the best. Ahoy, mate. Reed is excited to see you at the party. I look forward to it. I'm going to jump on the first plane, fly over to New Zealand and party. One day. One day it'll happen. Melbourne up to halfway. Loose pass there from Wishart. Hughes has his pants pulled down. A clean shot of his ass. And Meaney puts the kick downfield. Tamale brings it back for the Raiders. Changers, I'm on the Captain Morgans tonight, my friends. The good old captains. 18.5 minutes to play. 6 points the difference. Raiders are not out of this. Not by a long shot. Tackle 3 on halfway. Hudson Young fighting his way for an Origin jersey. Hudson Young, look, I wouldn't pick him personally, but he's certainly having a good year. Hoskin with the forward pass. Ricky Stewart is furious. They're going to captain's challenge this, are they, the Raiders? Yes, they are. Captain's challenge. It's gone upstairs. God, Gerard Sutton's useless at his job, isn't he? Going upstairs. Raiders captain's challenge. Hoskin with the offload that's clearly gone forward. It was touched by the Melbourne Storm, but surely the knock-on has already happened at that point. It depends where the referee called the knock-on, I suppose. Okay, so it looks like this is going to be a successful challenge for the Raiders. Challenge successful. Raiders will keep the ball. Restart of the tackle count. The rain starts to tumble 30 meters out from the line. Tarpany to play it. $18 to play. 30 meters out from the line. Mariota plays it. Inside ball now for Tarpany. Tarpany carries inside the 20. 15 out. 17 and a half left. Fogarty back inside to Mariota. Mariota breaks his way through. He's half a meter short. That's tackle 4. Quick ball out to Fogarty. Through the hands now. Seb Chris on the outside. Flick pass for Tamale. And Tamale back inside. The ball is spilt by Ethan Strange into the hands of Jerome Hughes. And Jerome Hughes runs into touch, but that's a result for the Melbourne Storm. Advantage not played. So they'll come back for that mistake. Tamale, they're going to captain's challenge here, the Raiders. Challenging the call of knock on. There's a big hit that forces that ball free from Ethan Strange. There's where the knock-on is. Challenge unsuccessful. And the Melbourne Storm will have the ball here. Leading by 6, 17 minutes to play. I'll tell you what, though. I thought this game would be a massacre. I thought that the Storm would win by 20 points at least. You've got to tip your hat to the Canberra Raiders. They are a gritty side here in 2025. And this game is far from over yet. 17 minutes to play. Melbourne in possession, though. 20 out from their own line. McDonald, as they race up quickly on him. The Raiders on the back of that failed captain's challenge have definitely intensified in defense. Josh King. Just one out stuff here for the Storm. Nothing crazy. They take it out to their own 40. Short side they go. And Utikamanu up to halfway. Hughes puts the kick high. Tamale takes it under no pressure at the back, returns it to the 20, but they hold him up and now drive him backwards. Only a couple of meters, though. The Raiders in possession. 16 minutes to play. Raiders have got the ball down their own end. 6 points the difference. A game that's going to go down to the wire. Possession, very, very even. It's so even, I'm starting to suspect that that screen hasn't updated. And I'll see if I can fix that. Because I feel like it's surely still not that even. 5th and last now, on halfway. Raiders put a big kick downfield. Storm will happily let it bounce. And it sits up kindly for Suafalongo, who at the moment, if the Storm do go on and win this game, Suafalongo just slightly ahead for my personal man of the match. Quick play the ball here. Pappenhausen scoots out a dummy half. Takes it up to halfway. Tackle 4. Staying on the short side. Utukamanu carries it inside the 40. Fifth and last. Hughes again down the short side. Puts it high. Contestable ball, this one. And it's been lost forward by Eli Katoa. Tamale comes away with it for the Raiders. $14 to play. 18-12. 7 tackle set. KB in the TikTok chat really, really desperately needs Sebastian Chris to score a try. Through the hands now into midfield. Raiders. 83% completion rate to the Storm's 88. A kick early in the tackle count here for the Raiders, looking to turn the Storm around. It's going to be too heavy, and it dribbles dead for a 7 tackle set. Pappenhausen. Happy to just watch that roll over the dead ball line. 7 tackle set for the Storm here. We are cheering on Sebastian Chris, although it'd be nice if Melbourne get a couple more tries first. Because I'm on a perfect round at the moment, and I need Melbourne to win for a perfect tipping round. And it is the Storm going left. Pappenhausen inside ball for Sean Bloor. 35 out from the Raiders line. 12 to play. Munster. Short pass for Joe Chan. 20 out. Munster on the left. Carries it inside the 10. Winces in pain. 5th and last, but he's up and about. He's fine. 5th and last, and the crash ball for Josh King. I don't think they knew that it was the 5th and last. And they're happy to just hand that ball over, it seems. A couple of meters out from the Raiders line. Mahandranu says, let's go, Storm, let's go. I'm assuming there was a clap after that. That's just me ad-libbing. 12 minutes to play. 6 points the difference. This one is going down to the wire. Big red Corey Horsburgh. Caught in midfield. Timoko. Outside the 30. Starling from dummy half. Finds some space. 5th and last. Just short of halfway. Back for Fogarty. Fogarty decides to run. Cut out pass. Creates some space here for Chris. Chris puts the kick in straight down the throat of Pappenhausen. And a poor option in the end there for the Raiders. Counter-attack opportunity for Melbourne. But Anderson decides to just take contact. Coates down the short side. .30 out. Their own side of halfway. Nice heads-up play from Fogarty, but I think Sebastian Chris would want that kick over again. Munster shows it inside a couple of times before straightening and taking it into contact. Tyron Wishart off for a HIA. Well, there you go. Wishart was brought on as a replacement for Bronson Garlick. So that's a big loss for the Storm. Hughes puts the kick in deep. Taken on the fall by Tamale. Probably could have let it bounce as well. Would have been risky, of course. And Hughes is down in back play. Jerome Hughes down in back play, clutching a shoulder. The Storm's premiership hopes. Have they possibly just gone up in smoke? Jerome Hughes down in back play, clutching a shoulder. Oh, this is a huge story. He's up, but he's definitely favoring a shoulder. Fogarty now through the hands for Weeks. Timoko puts the big fend on. Oh, he's so deceivingly strong, Matt Timoko. 40 out from the line here, the Raiders, trailing by 6 inside the last 10. Strange, dummies. Fifth and last. 30 out. They go left. They're going to run again here. Hudson Young with the chip and chase. Pappenhausen again takes it on the full. Ryan Pappenhausen. Perfectly positioned once more. 9 minutes 20 to go. I feel like all the intense ball play is gone from this game now. Melbourne, you get the feeling they're just looking to defend this lead. They're backing their defense. It's only 6 points, but you feel like the attack is all gone. Fifth and last, short of halfway, back for Hughes. Hughes is up. Very critical for the Melbourne Storm. Puts the big kick in. Tamale takes it on the full. And it's KO Weeks in midfield. Taken down 20 out from his own line. 8 minutes 40 to play. 6 points the difference. No matter what happens from here on in, I'm going to go ahead and give credit where credit is due. The Canberra Raiders. They're a hell of a team this year. I thought they were going to get absolutely spanked. I really did. I said they've had a soft draw up until this point. But they have stood up and they have taken the fight right to the Melbourne Storm here. They could easily have folded early in that first half when Melbourne raced out to a quick lead. As Faulongo returns the ball, taken around the shoulders by Strange. Pappenhausen, outside the 20, changes direction. Suns, 308. I'm on the Captain Morgans tonight. I love me some captains. Tackle 4 now for the Storm. 7 minutes 20 to go. 6 points the difference. They might start thinking about a drop goal here, the Melbourne Storm. Tackle 4 inside, 5, inside Raiders territory. Hughes puts it high. Tamale moves forward, takes it, but he's met well by Katoa. And Katoa crunches him 10 meters out from the line. Their own side of halfway, of course, the Raiders. Melbourne might just be lining themselves up for a drop goal here, and they've come up with a mistake. Sebastian Chris loses the ball in the play the ball. And the Storm are going to have a full set of 6, 10 meters out from the line. They could put this game to bed. The Storm could end it right here, right now. 6.5 to play. 10 meters out from the line. They could put this to bed right now. Scrum down, and it has to reset. 6 minutes to go, 10 meters out. Melbourne Storm with the scrum. Hughes feeds it. Garlic sends it left for Munster. Munster straightens. Surrenders in the tackle, 10 meters out. They're thinking drop goal. I'm certain of it. They're thinking drop goal. I think the way that Munster just surrendered in that tackle, they could be thinking drop goal. Josh King with a settler. They're too close to the post here. Way too close. Liero, short ball for Retikamanu. Retikamanu, half a meter out. Tackle 3. Liero surrenders in the tackle. They are thinking drop goal here. Liero with no go forward whatsoever. Back it goes. Garlic to Pappenhausen. 20 out. Snaps the drop goal. Pappenhausen puts it down the middle. Game number 100. Ryan Pappenhausen makes it 19 points to 12. Oh, wait a minute. Referee's got time off. The referee's got time off. The pass goes back for Pappenhausen. They have not confirmed this yet. Pappenhausen snaps the drop goal. Oh, Trent Liero maybe with an elbow to the face of the grounded Canberra player. This is what we're looking at here. Trent Liero's on report for an elbow to the face. And it's going to be a penalty to the Raiders. And it's going to be no field goal. 18 points to 12 it remains. Trent Liero with an elbow to the face of the grounded Raiders player completely unnecessarily is on report, and the Raiders will have a penalty. Fogarty finds touch, 20 out from their own line here, the Raiders. 5 minutes to play. The Storm should have had this game won. Silliness there from Trent Liero. Absolute silliness. Here come the Raiders now. Horsburgh to Fogarty. Numbers to the right. Weeks to Timoko. They go out to Savage. Savage slips. Tackle 3:30 out from the line. They're full of running here, the Raiders. They have been presented a lifeline. And they are going to make full use of it, aren't they? Tackle 4. 25 out from the line. Here they come. Fogarty to Tarpany. Short ball to Hudson Young, who's 10 meters out now. 5th and last. This is it. Hudson Young staying down, trying to milk the penalty as the rain hammers down. Hudson Young is trying to milk a penalty here. He plays it. 5th and last. Fogarty to the line, out the back. The grubber kick through. They're offside there, the Raiders. It sits up in the end goal anyway for Sean Bloor to bring it back for Melbourne. Knock on against the Raiders. And very lucky that it wasn't a penalty for offside as well. Melbourne have it 10 meters out from their own line. 3.5 minutes to play. 6 points the difference. The rain hammering down. It's going to make the comeback very difficult for the Raiders in these conditions. Wishart gets up to play it. Time off. Horsburgh's out of it. Corey Horsburgh's in La La Land. Time off for that one. Big Red, Corey Horsburgh off for a HIA. That'll be his night done. Three minutes to play. 6 points the difference. My perfect round in the balance. I've tipped all the games so far. I've gone Storm to win this one. A perfect magic round in the balance. 5th and last. Hughes inside the 40. Kicks it deep. Taken by Tamale. Brings it outside the 20. 2 minutes 45 to go. They're nearly home here, the Storm. Just a couple of more sets of 6 defensively. They won't want to give away any penalties. Papali'i. Strong carry up the middle. 2 minutes 20 remain. Down the right edge they go. Fogarty Inside it goes for Weeks. Weeks is in open space. Kicks in behind the line. Needs it to sit up. KO Weeks scores. We are going to Golden Point. The Raiders have done it again. The Canberra Raiders just keep stealing games, snatching from the jaws of defeat with 2 minutes to play. They've pulled off another miracle. KO Weeks. The kick chase over the head of Pappenhausen. The ball sits up perfectly for him at the back. And in these conditions, that's incredible. Try confirmed. And Jamal Fogarty. There is absolutely no way in hell Jamal Fogarty misses this kick at goal. No way at all. (1 minute 18 to play. 18-16. The kick to come. The rain is hammering down. But there is no way, surely, that Fogarty misses this. 10 metres to the right of the posts. He's taken it back just short of the 20-metre line to send us to Golden Point. Fogarty has it lined up. Puts it right down the middle. You just knew he was going to ice it, and we are going to Golden Point. 18 apiece. And the rain is hammering down. And we go all the way back for that Trent Liero elbow unnecessarily to the face. He didn't need to do it. He's cost his team big time. He's potentially cost his team the victory. "30 seconds to go. Melbourne send it deep. Papali'i, 10 metres out, surrenders in the tackle. It's raining very heavy. 12 seconds to go. Tarpany offloads. They're going to go for it here, the Raiders. Strange. Can't get the ball free. Starling it was, sorry. 20 metres out from their own line. Fogarty with the crossfield kick. It's been taken by Coates. Coates has got Pappenhausen. Pappenhausen, with a couple of defenders in front of him, is taken over the sideline. Golden Point, here we come. Melbourne had this game won on multiple occasions, and it has been sent to Golden Point. 18 apiece. Golden Point inbound. The rain is hammering down. Marley Prime, ahoy. Oh, this has been a crazy, crazy finish. The audacious chip and chase in these wet weather conditions. Golden Point. First meeting, ahoy, mate. This is such a big coin toss. Tarpany calls tails for the Raiders. Heads it is. Munster says we'll receive. So the Raiders get to choose which direction they run. $18 apiece. Golden point. There's a hush over the stadium. My perfect round is in the balance. Is my pure hatred of the Melbourne Storm about to be reignited? Will my hatred of the Canberra Raiders go even deeper? We are about to find out. Golden point. 18 apiece inbound. Melbourne with the kickoff. Canberra with first use of it. No penalties is the order of the day. Tarpany with the first hit up. Ten metres out from their own line. Here's Hudson Young. Big defensive set needed here for the... Morgan Smithies staying down, trying to milk the penalty. You hate to see this. You honestly hate to see this milking that goes on in the game now. 4.5 left in this first session of Golden Point. Tackle 4. The Raiders have only made it out to their 30 at the moment. They need a big run or a big kick at the end of this set. Fifth and last. From inside the 40, Jamal Fogarty. Down to Falongo. Falongo brings it outside the 20 and almost goes through. Sebastian Chris holds on for dear life. .35 metres out on play 2. Pappenhausen at first receiver to Munster. Munster puts the step on. He's held up in the tackle out on the left edge. Pappenhausen. 40 midfield here on tackle 4, driven backwards a little bit. Straight up the middle goes King. Here's Hughes. Cut out pass to Falongo. 1-on-1. Can't get on the outside. Penalty to the Melbourne Storm. A penalty for a second effort. Dragging Falongo over the sideline. Now this is way too far out to take the 2, especially in these conditions. What do they do here, the Melbourne Storm? This is a long, long way out. Hughes puts it into touch. It was way too far out for the 2. Oh, okay. They've come back for a penalty into midfield. Cameron Munster has raised a good point here by saying, doesn't this actually disadvantage us by taking the kick further in field? Hughes finds touch, 30 out from the line. Melbourne. The perfect round is in the balance. Meany taps it. Katoa. 25 metres out. Utukamanu up the middle. It's going to be so hard on this turf to get a drop goal away. It's so muddy. It's so wet. And tensions boil over. The teams come together. Push and shove. Shirt grab Jones. Utukamanu has got blood pouring out of his eye. And they are trying to coax the Raiders into giving away a penalty here. Tikamanu. One minute 48 left in this opening half of Golden Point. Tackle 2. Melbourne Storm. Blood gushing out of the top of the eye there for Tikamanu. Oh, this is not a penalty, is it? In the bin for Tikamanu. Oh, they're having an absolute laugh. This is an absolute laugh, isn't it? Tikamano's been sent for 10 in the bin. And so too has Papali'i. Josh Papali'i gone. It's 12 on 12. But who gets the penalty? It's a Canberra penalty. The Raiders get the penalty. Well, that is absolute nonsense. This is absolute nonsense. And wouldn't you know, it's Gerard Sutton at the center of it all. Raiders find touch on their own 40. A minute and a half left in this opening half of Golden Point. Gerard Sutton, whenever there's controversy, you know that great big goof is not far behind. And they can work themselves into position here. The Raiders staying down to milk the penalty. Get up and play the ball, you goof. Tarpany. Oh, you hate to see all this milking. I know that it's the Canberra milk, but come on. Tackle 4 now, inside the last minute. 30 metres out. It's going to be a long-range attempt if they take one. Tarpany. 20 out. Here we go. Time for the field goal. Fogarty's in position. Snaps it. It's deflected off the Storm and over the dead ball line. It's been touched by the Storm. Goal line dropout. They will send it deep. They will absolutely kick the absolute leather off this ball. 27 seconds to go. Pappenhausen sends it deep. It bounces up nicely for the Raiders here on the 40. They'll still get one chance at it. 20 seconds to go. Oh, this is the last play now. Hudson Young. A penalty to the Raiders. High contact. Trent Liero. It's a penalty out in front. The siren sounds. And Jamal Fogarty will step up. A penalty goal to win the game in Golden Point. And I am afraid that all we will be talking about here at the end of Magic Round is Gerard Sutton. He has once again got himself the front man in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Gerard Sutton. Wow, oh wow. Whenever there's controversy, as I said, good old Sutton is not far behind. Fogarty, 20 metres out, right in front. for a golden point victory. Fogarty puts it through. And Gerard Sutton has won golden point for the Canberra Raiders. 20 points to 18. Controversy does not even begin to describe it. Golden point to finish Magic Round. Wow. Down to the wire. Well, I've still made massive gains in the Wasted Water Sports tipping contest. Just one tip wrong for the weekend. $20 points to 18. Boy, will there be some stories about this, though. All the talk. Unfortunately, after what's been a magnificent Magic Round, unfortunately, all the attention is going to be on the refereeing again. Well, that's what they get for putting Gerard Sutton in charge of the last game. Honestly. If the NRL was silly enough to put Gerard Sutton in charge of the final game of the round, they deserve everything they get, I'm afraid. Because wherever that man goes, controversy follows. And once again, controversy doesn't even begin to describe it. And all the talk, I'm afraid, is going to be about Gerard Sutton and the standard of refereeing. Once again, it had been so good all weekend. So good all weekend. And then Gerard Sutton bottles it on the final game of the round. Unbelievable. Canberra Raiders, though, hats off to them. 20 points to 18. I thought they were going to get absolutely smashed. I'm not afraid to give credit where credit is due and admit that I was wrong. The Raiders have proved me well and truly wrong in season 2025. Bailey Reed, thank you very much for the rose. Very much appreciate it. I thought this was going to be an absolute hiding. The Canberra Raiders, this was their first test, their first proper test of season 2025 after a soft draw up until this point. They passed with flying colours. Controversy aside, ignore that. They stayed in the game. Most teams would have folded after that opening 20 minutes when the Storm raced out to a 14 points to nil lead, or whatever it was, 12 or 14-0. They raced out to an early lead anyway, the Storm. A lot of teams would have folded. The Raiders stayed in the fight. Ricky Stewart has built up a team full of grit, full of determination, and they've got something that can't be coached, pure speed. And it was speed that ultimately got the job done in the end, wasn't it? KO Weeks with the kick chase over the head of Ryan Pappenhausen. I mean, you can't train that. You can't learn that. So Ricky, credit where credit is due. Controversy aside, Ricky Stewart has got this team firing on all cylinders. And hats off to the Canberra Raiders. Oh, wow. It feels weird. Magic Round has come to an end. What are we going to do? What do we do with ourselves now? Magic Round is done. We have seen some fantastic games of footy, and one can't be upset about that. It's probably been the best Magic Round in the history of Magic Round in terms of match quality, I would dare say. It is a shame about the end. I mean, controversy, as I said, it's so disappointing to know that Magic Round ended on a referee's decision. But it was such a good weekend overall. Let's not let that take away from what's been a fantastic weekend. But I am telling you, we will hear so much more about that. So much more about it. All the headlines are going to be about Gerard Sutton, I'm afraid. And that's not really what we wanted from the showcase of rugby league. We didn't want to be talking about the referees. But I suppose Sutton just couldn't handle that. Gerard Sutton didn't want to be out of the spotlight. No, sir. A golden point finish to Magic Round. Whew, boy. We have seen some games. All right, I'm going to go eat. And I've got to get myself some sleep because I've got to be up bright and early, 6 o'clock in the morning, Queensland time, for the Formula One Miami Grand Prix. We've got to cheer on our boy, our Aussie boy, Oscar Piastri, starting from third on the grid, looking to bring it home for McLaren and for Australia. Keep that championship lead. Wasted World of Sports, thank you so much for your company. I do apologize for the short post-game here in this one, but I've done 3 games and it's been a huge Magic Round. We've done every single game and I am starting to lose my voice. You can probably tell I'm starting to get a little bit croaky. And as I said, I've got to be up bright and early in the morning for the Formula One. We'll be bringing you all the action here on the Wasted World of Sports. Thank you very much. And I will catch you guys next time. Until then, cheers. Oh, actually, just quickly before I go, Wasted Water Sports YouTube. On the channel, our latest Generations podcast / vodcast has dropped. Very much appreciated if you check that out. Generations is a podcast that I do with my dad, the old Panther, and we've just done our latest podcast topic on high tackles, the high contact. Do feel free to check that out there. Generations. You can find the video on the main page of the Wasted Water Sports channel on YouTube. Thank you so much. Magic Round, done and dusted. Be back in the morning for the Formula One. Cheers.
Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pass last from the kickoff to the final whistles blow. We'll take the 2 and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. true. Oh, wasted world of sports. Here's to one cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer. Yeah.